Hello, my friend, and welcome. Thank you for taking time to join me. I am Morjax. We're playing Mordheim, City of the Damned, against David again. Hello, David. Welcome back.
Hello, Morjax again. And I will say, you kicked my arse. If it hadn't a desynced, my arse would be absolute schmoo across the city of Mordheim right about now. And you would have gone off with all the glistening things as well. I mean, it was truly an epic ass whipping I've ever seen.
So now the proof will be in the pudding whether I can emulate any aspect of that past match here. So let's see what happens.
I think basically I've got to do everything I did before, what it was that I was doing, and do exactly the opposite.
You know what though? If I had an inkling that that you were going for my cart, and if I had not turned around and zipped back with all of my movement points the other way, I would have been a turn too late. It was quite close, I think. Because your guys were all in a row, like right there around the corner. All right.
Was that the cue, the passive-aggressive comment?
No, I actually had a suspicion before you said anything about it. Oh, look, the word stone is much more evenly distributed. Beautiful.
So I've just hit record. So back once again, let's get this rocking and rolling. Mordheim, City of the Damned versus Morjax.
Hello.
Goodness, you did kick my butt, didn't it? I don't know if that's like a birthday gift. That's yeah. Actually, you've had a terrible day of gaming, and it's your birthday, and we're going to desync this now for you so that you don't look like a complete of the game. As your buddy Morjax just steamrolls you, takes all of the wardstone, and yeah, leaves you crying in your birthday cake.
Crying in Your Birthday Cake's my new cover band.
And what cover band it is too. I mean, they'll go for the throne.
So it occurs to me, I didn't understand what I was seeing, but your good buddy Dowd, the reason I kept seeing him is because he had your flag the whole time. And I didn't put two and two together until I got to your cart and saw that it was empty. And you couldn't hear me swearing silently, but I was.
New strategy that I've learned. I remember one time playing a chap, I think it was in the first sort of game night's new buddy league, and I'd got to their cart and was looking at it. I was like, what the hell's going on? Is the game glitched? We got a desync? I don't understand. There's no flag here. I've never seen this before.
Mm-hmm.
As it turns out, yeah, there is a way of picking the bloody thing up, and I will say I was horrified and shocked.
Now, I don't know if this is possible, but a very sassy maneuver, I don't even know if this can be done, but to pick your flag up and then go put it into a scavenge point somewhere. And I don't know if it's no longer marked, like if your opponent's not paying attention to where your marked unit is, because they can see it anywhere on the map if they have the flag, right?
I think the issue with doing that, and I speculate, your flag is basically not on your cart and not, and you will take that morale drop. So almost worth I think in PvP, certainly if you're doing a league, to pick up the flag, and
Pick
then
up the cart.
literally run down the road and say, "Oi, can you see?" No, pick up the flag, and think things are going terribly wrong. I've not seen someone do it yet, but if it looks like your heroes are going to die and you've already lost a load of people, and you really think, "Oh God, I need to get out of here," sort of, and say, "Yeah, take the banner, you win. It's there. Leave us alone. Job done." Without losing too many people, because I mean, if you lose a hero, well, it could be seriously trying for you in the rest of the league.
Yes. By the way, not only have all of my my 3 wins not counted so far, but this is actually my 3rd leader. The first 2 both suffered from stupidity.
Wow.
So I've had a grand old time in the City of the Damned.
Played so far.
What was that?
So far.
I played Game Night was the first one to get me up to speed. I played Carl. I played Carond. And I feel like I played another one in there.
There are some pretty damn good players. I do think that the 2 different types of player in this league. I think there are some guys that are very much into the competition of the game, and then there's some guys like me that sort of just bum around in it. It's just sort of more casual.
Yeah.
I think the leaderboard really does show. I think was it Rond, is it?
Yes, Carond I think is well, Carol's right up there too. Carol won the last, or Carl, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but he won the last Buddyhood League.
Is he on in our division, or is he in the other division?
They're both in our division. Yes, Carol or Carl and Carond are both in our division.
Carond chap, he last time I looked at the leaderboard table, he was at the top. He had won all his games and hadn't lost a man. I was just like,
well, I watched. He made a couple of videos leading into the league, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I watched some portion of them. And I think he was saying he's got up over 1,000 hours logged in Mordheim. So it's like, yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense why he's as good as he is.
Yeah, but I would counter that with the fact that it doesn't really mean much, because I've got over 1,000 hours in Mordheim, so I'm shocking. You know what I mean? I do have played too much of this bloody game, and yet I still suffer terribly with being just generally pretty piss poor.
Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna chalk it up to Zinch.
Yeah. I mean, it might be that he's just a PvP player, because there is a big difference.
Yes, yeah. There's a certain bloodthirsty mentality to the dedicated PvP players.
I'm just too passive on these games. I think this is also why I suffer at MOBAs as well, because I'm just like, oh god, but if I kill them and they can't, they can play. Okay, it's just, I'm dead. You know what I mean? It's just like, like, oh god, I'm dead again. And that's pretty much what I'm going to chalk it up to. I'm just too nice. Ideologies as a self-defense instructor is like, want to learn self-defense, what are you trying to defend yourself against? And like generally sort of like, well, if I get into a fight, well, the answer to that is don't get into a fight. So consequently, I'm playing these games by avoiding fights, you know, dancing around the place, going, oh god, no, we're just not going to fight, and we're going to hide. That's what we're going to do.
And I have been rightfully made fun of by viewers in the past at how conservative and defensive I sometimes play. Not always. Sometimes I go for that big spicy gambit, but I generally very much enjoy my cheesy turtle tactics and whatnot.
I would definitely say that you weren't conservative. Easy when you killed my favourite rat back in the day. I mean, you just lynched the poor little thing. I mean, it done all its training. It thought he was the big man, and then, or big rat, should I say? You know, he had the black fur. You know what I mean? He had the little claws. He really did think that he was the bee's knees with his new avoid and dodge skills that he had, and he basically beat 7 bells of crap out of him.
A new round
I was so
started.
Poor fellow. I have to say, I can't remember if I told you this at the time, but I really did feel terrible about that, because I remember that was your first match in the league. We had invited you to join, and then you just get like curb stomped trying to just make your debut, and I just remember feeling like, well, that's a kind of a crap in your cornflakes kind of greeting, isn't it?
It's like, yes, oh, welcome. Oh god, that was a terrible pickup. Welcome to the game, and it's so nice to have a fellow YouTuber here. And yeah, you play PvP? No, you haven't. Oh, that's nice. No,
you weren't using those intestines, were you?
Yeah, it's just terrible.
Yes.
So,
it shall go down in infamy.
I learned 2 things that day. 1, never trust a YouTuber when they say, come and play some nice fun games with us. Just come and play this game so that we can record it and publicly humiliate you across the board.
Oh.
In my videos, you know that I do a bloody good job at humiliating myself. I don't need help. I mean, what's that all about?
I hope I don't come across as the humiliating type. Oh.
It was recorded and, you know, stood, then I think you would have, yeah, definitely had your cap of, yeah, you completely humiliated and annihilated this person. So I died so bad. First we did the tango, then we did a bit of the jive, and then I thought I was really, really clever and went to grab your flag, at which point you jumped on me, slaughtered my leader, and then set about scaring everyone else off with a skill that I'd never seen before. I panicked so much I ran my Knights Templar straight into the wrong person. It was a beautiful moment.
Oh boy. So I know Lum is also playing Possessed, and he has been using as well that attracting lure skill. I actually, I must admit, before this league, I've not used it at all, and so I'm kind of a fresh user of it, but I do rather like it so far. It seems to be kind of a fun variety. You can't use it against everyone. Not everyone will flee when you try to startle them.
Does it trigger with is it like a 2-point, 2 red pill jobby, or is it multiple red pill jobbies?
2 red, 2 blue. So it costs as much as a normal attack, but also 2 blue on top of that. So but
potentially it means that you can attack with a leader and still get a charge in, perhaps, if you've got 6 points.
Yes, and depending on how far they run, and how many blue pills you have. I mean, that's what I did with your guy, is that I attracting lured, and then I chased him down and attracting lured again to get my, you know, it cost 2 blue pills, but I got 2 attacks with a 2-handed weapon for 4 red pills total. So
that is good.
Kind of do some...
Because the weight, that meant the weight didn't affect it.
Correct.
It is nice.
Yeah. So instead of costing me 2 and then 3, it cost me 4 red pills, 4 blue pills, And if you're in close combat, a lot of times, you know, once you're there and fighting, a lot of the blue pills go to waste anyway.
That is a really good combination.
I'm fond of it so far, but I'm still learning the proper way to use it and the proper time to use it.
Yeah, but the fact that you can, as you say, you don't really have to worry too much about blue pills in combat. I mean, there's certainly, you could tie someone up, use that skill, and you could get 3 hits with a heavy weapon. Just for laughs.
And you do need to be a little bit careful, I've found, with the direction that you engage from, because it's just like you can't always flee depending on like the quarters that you're in. You can kind of box yourself into a corner a bit. So there is kind of its own layer of tactics. I don't know. It's fun so far.
That's one thing. I've got a dislike from young age of chaos, and therefore have not played them, which unfortunately for me means that I happen to rather lack in what they can do and all of that. So literally when you did that, I was like, what the hell's going on?
Wait, what?
What is this? Did we desync? My man's running off. We're in combat. That's not possible, surely.
No, I just put the fear in you.
The fear of everything.
The fear of cultists.
Imagine it wouldn't work on a Templar. I mean, it's
correct. Yes.
Imagination, but due to the fact that he just doesn't.
They're far too stalwart.
Yeah, he doesn't do well with that fear business. He doesn't particularly agree with it.
Doesn't have time for that nonsense.
It's just some sort of ideology or political stance he's got. It's just like, I don't agree with it. I'm not going to. Just not. We're not. That's what peasants do. Surely that's not what us.
I'm an anointed Templar knight. Damn it.
Exactly, and I think he takes a strong on such things. Being as not really what's done. In the feudal system, I will have you know, sir, no. That won't work.
Too many bows. Come out to play, David.
That is the plan this time around. I feel that I've done one strategy and it really bode ill. So I think probably what we're going to have to consider at least is going forth.
Yeah, I think we're both going to be shaking it up a little bit.
Yeah. Need some work done, perhaps.
So after playing enough of Mordheim, I guess I've grown a little bit used to some of the various aspects of it. But I have to say that I think that they really nailed the ambiance, just like the feeling of being in this destroyed city, you know?
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I turn the music off just so that you can like hear all the shenanigans that is going on. In the game, you know, it's just really awesome, like the weird sounds and all the rest of it. It's just really cool.
Hello? How are you?
You are that man with did that great big hammer. Hammer of Erty, and yet it's strangely alone. She says, "Come be with me, it'll be fantastic. You will have a great time." And then you get all excited, and then she says, "April's Fools."
Oh, David, David, David. What shall we do with each other?
I feel that we're probably just going to shoot each other a bit and then batter the crap out of each other a bit and then savagery a bit and slide really strangely across the floor a bit. Get shot at a bit.
Did I slip across the floor?
We'll have this
Ouch!
slide. Ooh, good morning.
Well, that's the end of that's the end of his sass.
That was a shot.
That was something.
In the tank yet, sir? Plenty more. Tank 2, I see. Fair enough. More in the tank than I.
Oh, decisions, decisions.
We don't like him. He's scary.
Oh, I want the squishy, the giblets.
That is a is that a large hammer you have there, sir, or are you just really pleased to see us?
Oh, very pleased. Very pleased indeed. Twang.
Rather nice shots, officer.
Why, thank you.
One for you. Just the one, is it? Fair enough. It is.
Yeah, he thinks highly of himself, but
Spreading the love, that's what I like to see. Jolly good hit, sir. I'm a bit blue about that.
Now the fun begins. How shall we go about it? Oh, that's it? Oh, he's so slow.
Be without armor proficiency.
I do need that armor proficiency. I'm very upset about his lack of speedy.
you could spend points on armor proficiency, then he'll go and do something stupid like get a mutation that he has eyes on his chest, and then
You sound like you might have a little bit of experience in this department.
I've never actually played it, but I've seen someone play it, and he decided to go with this route, you know, because people. At one point, I did and said, "Oh, what would you like to see me do? Let's play on next." And it was almost looking chaos, and then I think the Sisters of Sigma got it in the last moment, and so I watched a couple of videos, and literally this one, he got. He had that sort of set up so that he could sorts of shenanigans, and yeah, it literally setting for him because he had armor proficiency and he had all of this stuff going for him. It looked really nice and shiny, and then literally he got eyes in his chest, and then he couldn't use armor proficiency or any armor. Thanks very much.
Poor
for that.
sod.
Wanted.
I am quite anxious to see how this plays out. It's certainly a different flavor match than the last.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question for you. Do you know the bad guy in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where it's like the little like octopus kind of guy in the torso of the big guy? Is his name Krang?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, because one of my guys was randomly generated named Wolf Krang, and I'm like, oh, Krang, yeah, isn't that Ninja Turtles chappy? Come play with us, David. I think Wolf Krang's gonna have a bad day. I have a sneaking suspicion.
Actually, oh, that's upsetting. This wasn't actually the guy I thought it was, which is upsetting. I thought this was a different guy. Is it you, Claire? No, it isn't. It is not. It is not Claire at all.
So many decisions. All I can see is poor Wolf Krang's little dazed, bald skull in the corner of my screen. Ouch. Ouch. That critical arrow really served you well. Well done, well done. You, sir, are corrupt. You sneaky bugger.
A new round has
I
started.
used too many points.
It feels quite close so far, to me at least.
I mean, there's certainly issues.
Hello. How are you?
Bias.
Oh, that's where you are. Mm-hmm. He came out, took a look at the situation, went, you know what? Yeah.
It was more that I was seeing if I could do better with my movement, but unfortunately I couldn't.
Yes, the speedy chap. Oh.
What's the pain?
Ah.
Mighty hammer you have, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Oh, Zinchi, don't fail me now. Zinchi poo. Oh, great.
That is emotional. The fact that you can pretty much kill a knight in 2 swings. Upsetting.
Run away! Run away! Oh, what a wiener. He can't reach. Fine, fine, fine. Fine, 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 fine. Oh, let me think. This certainly is getting quite bloody.
That's cool, that is. Oh, no, it still cost you 2 reds and 2 blues.
Yes. 2 red, 2 blue, no matter when you cast it.
You actually got 2 hits there, so it's like a free hit as well.
Yes, yeah, I got. If you can pile up guys but still leave the enemy space to flee, it does work out that way. Ouch. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Oh. Route test failure.
Test failure, yeah.
Good match. That got that got bloody an awful lot faster than the last.
Sure. I knew that if I lost a knight, then I think it's a reasonable strategy. If I lose a knight, then I'm going to be in a real bad place. I'm going to lose too many people.
Yeah.
So I think picking up the banner on one of the knights is definitely a good idea.
Yeah.
That means I can
You know,
get out
I
of
actually
of
didn't.
a really
I
painful
had
game.
forgotten that knight had the banner. It worked out luckily for me in that regard.
Well, for me too, because I mean, playing a skilled player with a stronger warband is somewhat scary. It's like you're going to lose people.
Yes.
It's going to be not going to be a happy moment. And certainly from the last to this, trading in losing the knight is better than losing the hero, the leader, for sure. So
Yes.
yeah.
I have to say that your amphitheater of Overwatch shots it made it a bit prickly on how to properly proceed.
The idea, I mean, the idea is that if I had started this way from the beginning, most of the guys by this point would have, I mean, they hadn't been killed. You know, that maybe they had been like put out of action, took a reasonable injury, nothing too drastic. Would have had trial by pain by this point, which definitely makes the Witch Hunter Warband far more interesting.
It's true.
Because they're new, they don't. So it's like something that's being planned for the future. Should they get through to that point? The issue being is that because they're all pretty much new henchmen, it's somewhat a bit of an issue.
I agree.
Definitely rating is a bit lower.
So I didn't want to draw too much attention to it to make myself any more of a target than I absolutely already was. But that hammer that was on my leader, that's actually my only purple, which is why it does so much damage.
Yeah, I suspected that it was a purple item. I mean, I don't need. I think I might have a blue item. I don't really have gear either, which is a bit of a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so the leader got a martial point, which is fine and fair, and Sir Davian got a physical point. Cornish got fortunate return, but that might not necessarily mean anything in a martial point, and a full recovery. That's what means something. Although his fortunate return has seemed to have disequipped him of equipment. So,
was he robbed or something like that?
Did you rob him? he doesn't seem to have any gear. No, I think sometimes they just don't come back with their gear.
Yeah.
We have we have fortunate return and amnesia, which basically means he's lost his experience for this game, which is probably a good thing because he got beaten down by a purple thing. That was very scary.
A purple thing.
One's wielding something large and purple, and that's not particularly to your flavour. It is probably better that you don't remember it. Taved, the Estonian, has got fortunate return, and he has also got confusion. Mental damage causing the warrior random moments of confusion. His injury has reduced his alertness, both stat and maximum. He now has 1 point of alertness, so he's about as alert as a drunkard. And there's a physical point. Tattoo the Georgian has a physical point, and our chap Dayud has a physical point as well. You have to forgive me if I'm pronouncing my own name wrong. It is written in many different tongues, and being an Englishman, I can only just about get by with English. And I mean just about. And that's it. What have you got?
The poor sod that you critted with your finely placed arrow got a full recovery.